Today, we've got this incredible story for you about a blues album that was recorded, totally lost to time, and then brought back to life over a decade later. And man, this is a journey that spans continents, from a connection that started online to a real-life collaboration.
So check this out. This one little line, found on the album's official page, is basically what kicks off the whole mystery. It hints at this story of music just left hanging, a creative project completely frozen in time. So what exactly happened to these sessions, and why are we only just hearing them now?
To really get this album, you gotta get to know the two people at the heart of it all. Vale Belin, a seasoned bluesman who goes by King B, and this really talented singer, Layna Shery. Their story, this cross-continental journey, is the key to absolutely everything.
So to really unpack this whole thing, we've got to jump in the time machine and go back more than 10 years, to a time when their entire relationship existed only through a screen.
This is red lights over yonder. That's where my baby stays. This red house over yonder, baby. That's where my baby stays.
You know, you'd think a blues album would start in some smoky club, right? Nope. This one started on Facebook. They fell in love, as one source puts it, in absentia, which means without ever having met in person. This connection was so strong that they immediately started planning to make music together. But then, this one single event in 2011 changed the course of their entire story.
So the stage was set. They were finally going to meet, make music in America. But then, bureaucracy rears its ugly head, and the whole thing gets sent spinning in a totally new and honestly way more interesting direction.
The plan? It was pretty straightforward. Layna had an official contract for a US tour. But in 2011, that plan slammed into a brick wall. Her visa application was denied. Now, this could have been it, right? Game over.
Should be so hard, baby. It's the way it looks. Don't know how to look at you. Kind of sound of my voice. Never mind, I said to myself, just an ordinary story. Gonna get up like before. I need to know where. Tell me why. Why could be? Why could be easy between you and me? Tell me why. Why could be? Please talk to me. Listen to me. 'Cause I'm telling you. Hey, babe. 'Cause I'm telling you. Why it could be easy between you and me. I want to tell you. I want to tell you right now. Tell you right now. Oh, why it could be
But instead, King B does something totally unexpected. He just flips the script. If Layna couldn't come to America, well then, he would go to Russia. And that decision, well, that's what really kicks off their partnership, forging this incredible creative bond, but on Russian soil. So King B's first tour back in his homeland in 12 years was called Back to the Doghead. He invites Layna to be a guest performer at the very first show in Moscow. She gets on stage and just completely blows the roof off the place with her blues talent. And the performance of the Jimi Hendrix classic Purple Haze,
just till the end of time.
it just sealed the deal. That was it. The duo King B and Layna Shery was officially a thing. And you've got to understand, King B wasn't just some musician passing through. This guy was a pillar of the Russian blues scene. I mean, he'd already founded the legendary Jimi Hendrix Blues Club in St. Petersburg. His connections were deep, and that opened up all these doors to top-tier venues and big international festivals. This was the world they were now a part of, together. So from 2012 to 2016, these two were just on fire. They were touring constantly, and they hit the studio for two major projects, both of them showcasing Layna's original songs. The first was called My Dream, recorded in St. Petersburg, and the second one, which they laid down in Riga, Latvia, was an album they called Virtual Love. And yup, you guessed it, those are the sessions that would basically disappear for years. So eventually, their time in Russia together wraps up, and those Virtual Love recordings were left unfinished, just like that album description said. But that is not where this story ends. So what happened? Well, for years, nothing. The sessions just sat there, collecting dust. But then, Vale Belin decides, you know what? I'm gonna finish what we started. And he does it all himself. He plays all the instruments, arranges the tracks, remasters everything, just breathes new life into this whole project. And finally, on April 17th, 2023, the album is out in the world. Just think about that for a second. Over 10 years. From that first message on Facebook, through a visa getting denied, a huge trip to Russia, and then years of total silence, a whole decade goes by before anyone gets to hear this music.
That's just an incredible level of artistic dedication, right?
You know, the story of virtual love is just this powerful reminder that sometimes great art just doesn't care about your deadlines. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it, how much amazing music, how many brilliant ideas are just sitting out there on some forgotten hard drive, just waiting for their second chance to be heard.